In the eerie glow of the Godfall wilderness, a cloaked mage surrounded by swirling purple energy mocks the newcomers. He calls them fools who don't know the limits of the world yet. His dark aura pulses as he prepares to attack, clearly enjoying the fear of those who stumble into his domain. The mage chuckles coldly, saying that hunting weak adventurers like them saves both time and effort. His tone drips with arrogance, showing that he's done this countless times before. The others instantly recognize his type, a material hunter, one of those ruthless scavengers who ambush and rob lone class changers and beginners for their loot. The blue-haired boy frowns, piecing it together. He recalls hearing about these hyenas who roam dungeons just to prey on the inexperienced. For a brief moment, he wonders if he's fallen right into their trap, but then his eyes harden. He stands tall, refusing to back down. Drawing his massive sword, he steps forward, the air around him crackling with power. "I didn't expect to meet a material hunter on my first visit," he mutters calmly. The enemy sneers, accusing him of bluffing just because he looks confident. But before the insult fades, the dark mage raises his staff again, his voice echoing, mocking them for falling into his trap and daring to stay silent. The battlefield fills with ominous energy, signaling that the real fight is about to begin. The mage unleashes a massive wave of dark energy, filling the area with blinding purple light. Laughing mockingly, he calls his opponents cute, as if their resistance amuses him. The ground trembles beneath their feet while his spell expands outward like a storm, consuming everything. The group braces themselves, but panic sets in as they feel their strength slipping away. The swordsman struggles to keep his stance, realizing his body is losing control. Their energy begins to fade rapidly. The mage is draining their spiritual power, leaving them helpless against his curse. Amid the chaos, the blue-haired boy watches quietly. Shadows swirl around him, but unlike the others, he doesn't panic. His calm expression suggests he's observing rather than reacting, as if he's seen this trick before and is simply waiting for the right moment to step in. One of the panicked students shouts desperately, claiming they are from Kyoto Academy and don't want to fight. He warns the mage that attacking them could cause serious trouble. But the dark energy continues to rise, and the boy's plea fades into the storm as the tension reaches its peak. Desperation fills the air as one of the students tries to reason with the dark mage. He offers valuables and promises silence if they're spared, hoping to buy their freedom before things get worse. The mage, however, stands still, his staff pulsing with dark light, listening without emotion. The mage smirks beneath his mask, repeating the words mockingly. "Let you go?" he asks coldly before pointing at them. He doubts their promise, questioning who could guarantee they won't reveal his identity. His tone shifts, more amused than concerned, as his aura grows thicker around them. He then laughs and admits it took him great effort to steal a false identity. Even something as trivial as a bus driver's cover wasn't easy to maintain. As he gestures, purple energy binds the students, paralyzing them midair as they cry out in pain. Struggling against the restraints, one of the boys grits his teeth and urges the others to fight back together. He believes that if they combine their strength, they might stand a chance. But with the mage's dark power surrounding them, it's clear the odds are stacked heavily against them. The dark mage's spell surges out violently, and the entire group screams in pain as the energy tears through their bodies. They collapse one after another, completely overwhelmed by the crushing force of his magic. Seeing their desperate situation, the blonde girl turns toward the lone blue-haired boy standing calmly nearby. She shouts for him to join them, hoping his help could turn the tide before they're all destroyed. But the boy doesn't move. His eyes narrow, studying the scene with cold focus. Instead of fear, there's only calm determination, as if he's been waiting for this exact moment to act. In the blink of an eye, something sharp and invisible cuts through the air, striking the enemy leader in the head. Blood sprays as his body jerks backward, lifeless. The girl freezes in shock, realizing someone far more dangerous has just entered the fight. As the dark mage collapses, blood spilling onto the ground, His sinister laughter echoes through the forest. Even while dying, he mocks them and coldly asks, "Who told you I was alone?" His words send a chill down everyone's spine, hinting that the real threat hasn't even appeared yet. Moments later, a massive figure emerges from the shadows, a muscular man draped in a wolf pelt, his eyes glowing with killing intent. He calls out to the fallen mage, questioning how such weak, low-level rookies could have done this. His presence alone makes the ground tremble. With a beastly grin, the man grips his giant axe tightly, his aura radiating pure violence. "Today," he growls, raising the weapon as energy crackles around him. "None of you are leaving alive," he roars, swinging the axe down with terrifying force. The sheer pressure from his attack tears through the air as the blue-haired boy stands his ground, ready to face the monstrous new enemy. As the giant axe swings down, one of the students shouts for the girl to move. She stumbles back in panic, her eyes wide with fear as the ground cracks from the sheer force of the blow. The blue-haired boy steps forward calmly, his gaze locked on the massive weapon descending toward them. His eyes gleam coldly, showing no trace of fear, only focus. The two enemies smirk confidently, certain that the boy is about to be crushed. Their expressions twist with arrogance as they prepare to finish off the survivors. But before the axe can strike, a burst of blue energy erupts around the boy's arm. Ice-like crystals form in an instant, reinforcing his body with incredible power. The sheer pressure from his awakening makes even the air freeze, signaling that the real fight is about to begin. With a deafening crack, the giant axe comes crashing down, but instead of splitting the ground, it stops midair. The blue-haired boy stands firm, one hand raised, holding the weapon effortlessly as shards of energy scatter around him. The impact alone shakes the forest, yet he remains unmoved. Everyone freezes in disbelief. Their eyes widen, jaws dropping as they realize what just happened. Even the enemies step back for a moment, unsure if they're seeing reality or witnessing something beyond reason. The wolf-headed brute growls in shock, his voice trembling with anger. He boasts that his axe is made of titanium and that even a rank 4 expert couldn't withstand such force. Yet the boy caught it barehanded, leaving both him and the mage speechless. The students watch in awe. One of them mutters, astonished that he caught the attack with nothing but his hand. The girl shivers slightly, whispering that he's terrifying not out of fear, but from realizing how powerful he truly is. Golden energy bursts from the boy's body, swirling around him like a storm. His voice echoes with cold fury as he glares at his enemies. "Dare to attack me," he mutters, his tone sharp and deadly. "You're looking to die." The air distorts under the pressure of his unleashed power. Before the enemies can react, the ground shatters beneath his feet. The boy moves faster than their eyes can follow, his strike generating a massive shockwave that sends both the mage and the brute flying through the air, their faces frozen in terror. The entire battlefield erupts with energy as waves of blue light explode outward, ripping through the surrounding forest. The enemies are thrown back violently, unable to withstand the overwhelming force of his attack. When the dust finally settles, silence fills the area. The mage lies crushed against a boulder, barely conscious, while the brute kneels in defeat. The boy stands tall amidst the destruction, calm, unshaken, and utterly dominant. The girl gasps, covering her mouth in shock as the realization hits both enemies are dead. The others stare at the aftermath, unable to believe what just happened in mere seconds. A sudden gust of wind whips through the clearing as something massive unfurls behind the boy. Red, demonic wings spread out from his back, glowing faintly under the moonlight. Everyone around him freezes, eyes wide in disbelief. With a single movement, he slams his fist into the ground, and the shockwave blasts outward like an explosion. The earth splits, dust rises, and the sheer impact leaves everyone speechless. The group watches from a distance, trembling. One of them mutters that the boy killed 2 level 70 warriors without even breaking a sweat. His strength feels unreal, terrifying even, and all they can think now is one question: who is he? The 3 survivors stand among the fallen bodies, their faces pale from shock. The girl mutters that she regrets ever coming here, while the boy beside her insists they need to leave immediately. None of them want to stay in this cursed forest a second longer. They hurry through the woods, but the air feels heavier with every step. Strange vines slither quietly across the ground, creeping closer as if alive. The forest suddenly plunges into darkness. One of them panics, saying it was bright just moments ago. Another tries to calm the group, promising to use his searchlight to find their way. But the silence around them feels wrong, like something unseen is watching. He raises a glowing device that projects a magic circle, casting a faint blue light into the shadows. The faint glow illuminates the twisting vines ahead and reveals that the darkness around them is slowly closing in. The group cautiously moves deeper into the forest, unaware that several massive snake-like creatures slither silently around them. The faint beam of their light barely pierces the darkness as the forest grows eerily quiet. Suddenly, one of them halts, sensing something strange. The boy whispers that he hears a faint noise, something crawling nearby. His expression hardens as he realizes they're being surrounded. Gripping his weapon tightly, he instructs the others to be ready. "When I count to 3, we'll split and run," he says in a low voice, his tone sharp with urgency. The air grows tense as the unseen creatures close in. They brace themselves. The chubby boy mutters 1 through trembling lips, while the girl takes a deep breath, murmuring 2 under her breath, preparing to sprint for her life when the signal comes. The boy shouts 3, and the group bursts into action, sprinting in different directions through the dark forest. Panic fills the air as the ground shakes beneath their feet. But before they can escape, enormous serpents emerge from the shadows, their mouths glowing with fiery energy. Each one launches a blazing orb toward the fleeing students, trapping them in a deadly crossfire. The explosions tear through the trees, lighting up the night sky in a storm of fire and debris. The forest burns bright, and the terrifying roars of the serpents echo far into the distance. From afar, a mysterious hooded figure watches silently, his eyes glowing through the darkness. A giant serpent coils beside him, waiting. He says nothing, but his calm gaze makes it clear this was only the beginning.